The origin of Moon Knight. With all the buzz surrounding Marvel's new release of their trailer for Moon Knight, it's no wonder that everyone is talking about this new white-caped crusader. But where did Moon Knight come from? Let's break it down. When Moon Knight first appeared in 1975 in Werewolf by Night, he actually appeared as a villain. But by the end of Moon Knight's two-part debut story, Moon Knight proved far more popular than Marvel had expected. So the publishers set about turning him into a gritty anti-hero who could carry his own stories. So while all that is well and good, who exactly is the Moon Knight? The Moon Knight is Mark Spector, the son of a Jewish rabbi who escaped from Germany on the eve of the rise of the Third Reich. Mark, however, refused to follow in his father's footsteps and instead became a boxer. And like most Marvel's cinematic heroes, he then worked for the Marines and eventually made his way to the CIA. After this, Mark left the military and became a mercenary with one of his good friends and pilots, Frenchie. They get the job from a warlord going by the title of Bushman, who has tasked them to excavate a tomb for an archaeologist. The archaeologist's daughter, Marlene, who's also on the job, would become Moon Knight's love interest. But after Mark Spector discovers that Bushman has betrayed them, he does his best to get the archaeologist and his daughter Marlene to safety while trying to fend off Bushman and his men, but unfortunately is killed. His body is laid at the feet of the Egyptian god Khonshu, and Khonshu resurrects Mark, endowing him with impressive physical strengths that he uses as Moon Knight, exacting revenge on Khonshu's behalf. Mark Spector is later fleshed out in his own comic book, Moon Knight, Volume 1, released in 1980, where it's very clear why so many fans relate him to Marvel's Batman. Mark Spector, after intelligently investing his mercenary money, becomes a rich socialite and financier by day, while seeking revenge on the street by night. It's during this time that Mark Spector, in an attempt to hide his mercenary past, develops other personas as well. Mark poses as the entrepreneur Steve Grant for public events. He then developed the persona of Jack Lockley, a cab driver, in order to stay close to the criminal activity on the streets. Unfortunately, the stress of these different personalities, on top of having an Egyptian god in your mind, led to Mark Spector developing DID. It's because of all of this collective trauma that eventually Moon Knight had to hang up his cape for a time. Unfortunately, it didn't last long, as Khonshu eventually summoned him back to Egypt and gave him lunar powers, granting Moon Knight increased abilities depending on the phase of the moon. Over the years, Mark has died a few times, been brought back by Khonshu, he joined the Avengers, helped Steve Rogers on several missions, and during Civil War, Moon Knight reluctantly signed the Hero Registration Act at the behest of Khonshu in order to continue his work uninterrupted. Moon Knight can be seen fighting with several of Earth's mightiest heroes and even has appeared with the X-Men. With all of this rich background on this white-cloaked crusader, I'm very interested to see what Marvel Studios and Oscar Isaac have in store for Mark Spector. The first episode of Moon Knight drops on March 30th, so make sure you're there to watch it, and make sure you're following us here at Geek for all of your geek-related news.